Today we got our first impressions on the Puma TRC Blaze Court. Super clean. Let's go. Welcome back to our channel. Today we got the Puma TRC Blaze Court. I think this is a pretty new shoe from Puma because I have not seen anything about it really. Like, it's a really nice looking model though. I love the colorway. That might be kind of slightly skewing my judgment, but Puma's been making some clean shoes lately. I don't even want to hear it. Like, they got, I mean, of course you got LaMelo Balls crushing it, and the LaMelo Ball 2s actually are supposed to be, the MB like .02's supposed to be coming out sometime in the near-ish future, I guess. But there's been some really nice shoes coming out from Puma. You got the Puma, what is it? Of course you got the classic Puma Clyde All Pro. You got the Puma like Fusion Nitro or something like that. So pretty nice models, but come on back to me. I'm gonna show you the socks that we're working with today. We got the palm tree socks, right? Is that what we're calling these? Palm trees, yeah. The palm trees. Here, right here on the back, you're gonna see, of course, they are numbered to 25 as always. These are up on our website, guys. We've been seeing some people check them out. So hey, to all you out there, we appreciate it. We do custom make these socks. These are handmade by Schuer, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Handmade by the man behind the camera. I can't take credit for that one. But as for this model right here, this Puma TRC, these, you didn't ask me yet. What do they retail for?
What do they retail for?
$120. So that's kind of pretty much middle of the pack for like Puma basketball shoes and for pretty much most basketball shoes in general. 120 is like a pretty safe price point. I think that's like right at what the LaMelo Balls were at anyways. So definitely not a bad shoe at all from what I can see from the beginning. Like it's not like super different. There's only so much you can do with Puma basketball shoes, I feel like. Like these are kind of similar to like, you know, these almost look like what a Puma tennis shoe would look like.
Yeah, honestly, I could just be rocking. I can see a lot of people just rocking these out.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
like,
not even for basketball.
Yeah, this would definitely like be a shoe that's easy to pass as casual. And normally it's easier to do that, I feel like, with shoes that aren't shoes of signature athletes. Because like anyone's gonna pick out like a LaMelo basketball shoe or a LaMelo Puma shoe and be like, oh, that's a basketball shoe. Even though it could be maybe seen both ways. Something like this where it's just like the Puma TRC Blaze Court. I'm pretty sure that these don't have like, I don't know if there's gonna be a Blaze Court 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm pretty sure this is like a newer shoe with Puma. I haven't done like all my deep diving on it yet. I was just on their site and saw they dropped what looked to be a new shoe, and I think these are pretty clean, but definitely not a bad looking model. They feel pretty good in the beginning. Not bad at all, but get a better idea. Let's try them out on the court. All right, so now we'll get a better idea on how these shoes feel kind of on the court, just like to play in and stuff like that. But real quick, I just want to say thank you guys for stopping by to check out our channel. Feel free to drop a follow or sub just wherever you guys are watching if you haven't done that already. If you have, we appreciate you. But also just let me know what you're thinking about this model first. Puma TRC Blaze Court, pretty cool looking shoe. But also let me know what you guys like want to see on our channel. If there's different things you want to see us try and implement. You know, we've done some of that stuff over over recent. We've been doing like squeak tests. We got a durometer now, like all kinds of different stuff. Never hurts. We may not do it. Feel free to throw it in the chat. But now we're gonna see how these shoes feel. As you guys can see, we're back in the brace again this week, hoping to have this hand fully healed within the next week or two. It is still broken. I can see it underneath here, unfortunately. But as for cushioning, that does feel like a spot that this shoe is like really padded along the sock liner. Like it's a really comfortable model in general. It's not super deep cushioning. Like I'm not gonna say it's in the same class as like the LaMelo Balls. I'm gonna try and keep it within the Puma family right now. It does kind of feel a little bit, oh, bounce in, bounce in, bounce in. Let's go. It does kind of feel a little bit similar to like the Fusion Nitro, like I was mentioning a second ago. I think the Puma Clyde All Pro and the Puma LaMelo Ball 1 are like two of like the softer shoes that I played in. The cushioning is just so dense. It just feels so good. But I mean, this is gonna be a lighter shoe too, I feel like. Feels like they're gonna be lighter. This is like, if you come in here, it's like mostly gonna be like a thinner like mesh material all up the tongue, and the toe box, which is pretty common. This is some type of suede-ish overlay maybe. But it is like, all this is like super thin, super light. Doesn't feel like the support's gonna be too bad though. Like this back half of the shoe does feel like it does a decent job of keeping your foot from moving around more than it should. That was my thing on the Puma Fusion Nitro. The traction on that shoe was just incredible. So much, yikes, so much so that like every stop that I made, I felt like I was gonna break my ankle. Like your foot would actually come outside the shoe. I don't feel that on these, and that's good because the traction is another spot that like, whew, these things feel nice. They got some bite. I'll let you come check out the pattern real quick. You got kind of like a weird hollowed out section right there in the middle portion. but super, super sticky. Like, I want to say Puma's got some of the nicest traction setup that I've seen in a while.
By far.
Oh, by far. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he's here to film all the stuff, so he knows. Like, Pumas have been like thriving major in that area. So traction's on point. The cushioning feels pretty good so far.
Overall, sizing wise, true to size.
Sizing wise, you got about a thumb's width left over for the length. It's not a narrow shoe, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. So if you like more room to play in, you can maybe go a half size up. It's not like super like big. So if you do prefer extra room, you could probably get away with that. But yeah, I'm 120 bucks. It's a pretty good spot for the shoe, I feel like. Not bad. That wraps up our first impressions on the Puma TRC Blaze Court. This is, I want to say, Puma's newest basketball shoe. Definitely a pretty cool model if I can get them off. Some stuff to like on here. What does this say? Trinomic. Got trinomic on the midsole. I have no idea what that means. I don't think I've seen that on a Puma shoe before. But like I've said, like, it's a clean looking model for anything. For basketball, for going for a jog, for going to Walmart, whatever you want to do in this shoe, you can probably do it. It's a nice looking model. The strong point on this shoe, aside from like this cushioning or this like collar, is really padded. It does kind of enhance the cushioning because it's not super soft underfoot from what I've felt so far. I don't think it's going to stack up with like the Metal Ball one, the Puma Clyde All Pro, you know, some softer shoes like that. You do got a nice heel counter back here though. I think that's also going to be what helps keep your foot stable. The traction feels like it's going to be durable. I feel like it's really sticky though. So if you use these outdoors, it'll definitely work for that. You might lose a little bit of the bite because I feel like these things are just going to go crazy indoors, but definitely a really solid model. I'm kind of impressed by it.
Overall though, is it worth the retail price?
$120 for this shoe. I think it's got to be, because I already said I'm not worried about the support, or I'm not at least worried about it nearly as much as it was on the Puma Fusion Nitro. The traction's always killer on these models. Cushion's pretty solid. 120 bucks. I'd say these are at least worth 130. But I mean, we are going to do a full breakdown on this shoe here. That'll be coming out within the next week or two. I'll break down more of the tech specs and stuff like that. Be looking out for that. But as for this, that's going to wrap up our first impressions. Until next time, peace.